Alright, finally time doing another automation video. I'm sure at least like two of you have been very patiently waiting for the next one. So, I'm gonna do an off-roader. I just decided, fuck it, let's compete with the Jeep Trailcat, a car that there's one. Jeep made one. It's like a spare parts bin concept vehicle. It's got bits from like Vipers and other Jeeps and military vehicles and all sorts of weird stuff in there. But it's got the Hemi Hellcat engine in it, so that's something. I'm not going to be necessarily putting a 700 horsepower V8 into this thing, so I guess competing with probably wasn't the best way to describe this. I'm going to be inspired by. It's going to be huge. It's going to have massive tires. It's going to do off-roady stuff and things, and, well, we'll just see how it goes. So, no, I'm not doing solid axles, you know? Everyone always does these things. We're like, oh, we need solid axles, need this. Nah, I'm going to be stupid and do double wishbone, because fuck it. What do I want for an engine? I literally said I wasn't going to do a V8, but I'm sitting here contemplating a V10 for it. You know what, let's go with an inline 5. Because it's quirky. Size engine can this thing handle? Oh, big one. Nice. 4.3 liter inline 5, anyone? Sounds like a grand old time to me. Do I go American, make it a push rod, and just completely ruin it? You know, we're going push rod. Screw it. It's going to be so bad. Nah, we don't need quite that much. I'm not making a hypercar. Heavy duty, sure. Perfect. Some VVT, lower that down. This thing's not going to rev to save its life. I do want to go carburetor. I mean, I do have the year set to 2010, and who in 2010 is using a carb? No. We'll go multi-point. Single variable. What is that? Oh boy. Not sure how I feel about that intake. It's ribbed. No, we're not doing variable. I'm sorry. Compact. Just standard mid. I cannot handle the ribbed for your pleasure variable intake. We are not putting that on the engine of this thing. Sure. Give us more fuel. Regular is going to be fine. It's not going to rev to that, I doubt, anyway. Tubular? Can we go tubular or short cast? Tubular looks fancy. Let's go with something that looks fancy. And two mufflers. Sure. Can you tell I have no idea what I'm actually doing with this? Oh, okay. So, what do we got? A 5,000 RPM red line. I want a little bit more out of it than that, I guess. There we go. Reliability. We'll take it. All right. Let's slap a turbo on it. Because that can only go well, right? The boost control, no intercooler because you don't need one in this game, apparently. We're knocking, so we'll bring that back. You know, that's actually not as bad as I was expecting it to be. Just ignore this. That's fine. Don't worry about that. Sport. Sure. 300 horsepower, 573 newton meters of torque, and everything wants to commit suicide. It's fantastic. All right, that's a little better now that we got some ride height going on in this thing. What kind of morphs can I do? You know, let's bring those out so we can get some massive chunky tires on this thing later on. What the fuck? Why? Who? All right, who in the dev team thought that this would be a good idea? What is the point of that? Ugh. I mean, no. Oh, this body is so just disgusting. I love it. Drivetrain 4x4, obviously. Manual, obviously. Six speed, 5 speed, six, sure. 172 miles an hour. I feel like that's a bit optimistic. This thing's a literal brick. But we'll try for it. Alright, manual locking diffs, because off-road, radial, chunky boys? Yeah. What do the all-terrains look like? Nah, we're going chunky. And just full bore. Full send, maximum widths, because, well, it'll make sense in a bit. Steel, keep those as 16s. Okay, so maybe that's a bit excessive now that I'm actually looking at it. Let's try 295. What do those look like? Yes. Okay, that's much better. Spacing. Let's just make these axles absolutely cry. I'm trying to support all the weight of this vehicle this far out from the chassis. That'd be great. This thing doesn't immediately break. Look at those spacers. Oh, if this thing doesn't immediately break in beam, I'm going to be absolutely amazed. The vented disc, piston. Why is it in... Oh, right. I was very confused there for a second. Automation on my laptop is set up very differently than it is on here, and it's set up on millimeters because that's what everything uses when you go to build like replicas and stuff. Everything's, yeah. So, don't mind my retardation. I'm fine. Off-road skid tray, like, is it worth it? No, we're just gonna go with none. Like, it doesn't matter. An auto hardtop? What? How the fuck would you have an auto hardtop on here? Where would it go? There's so many things that are wrong with this body. Like, I'm sorry. No, you're not. No, we're not doing any infotainment. This thing's just gonna be bog standard, nothing. Your infotainment and entertainment is not rolling the fuck over. Power steering, hollow. Yeah, sure. And we'll give it ABS. No traction aids. Safety, it's gonna have it, but it's not gonna be great because this thing's probably been modified by some drunk redneck in his garage. So it's just gonna have steel bars. Okay, and just basic. Sure, we'll give it some off-road sway bars. How much ride height can I get out of it? That looks better, actually. I'm gonna give it more here in a bit, but for now, yeah, it's a bit chunky. A little over 4,000 pounds, a good old 2-ton vehicle. 30 grand. Not terrible, not terrible. All right. How are my brakes doing? Because I didn't... Not good. We need bigger... More. How many pistons is... Alright, I guess we're going 6 pistons in the front. Rear brake force is very high compared to grip. Are you sure about that? Because I'm willing to bet I'm going to suddenly get brake fade. Oh. Well, how about that? It's actually not. And, off-road preset. Sure. Fucking spacers, though. Oh, man. I don't think it's very good for your brakes to be exposed like that. We are going to have to make some serious changes to this. Oh, boy. Alright, Alright, so we're going to go in here, and this is where we're going to fix a lot of these issues. Let's see. Rim center offset. Okay, we can put that back. Do I want to... I don't know if I really want to just, like... Do I just, like, cram the brakes back right back in there? Like, is that how I handle this particular situation? Oh, which one of these is the fenders? Where are you? There it is. And Transparent, transparent, transparent. I have so many materials now. Where's my there it is. Just get rid of those entirely. And we'll figure out how to deal with the gaping holes that we're left behind in a little while. Alright. So back over here. Now that I'm looking at it, I feel like these tires are just not big enough. But I'm going to adjust them this way. So, tire diameter. Okay, maybe not quite that much. There we go. Alright, match. Be the same size. And do I want to make the rims any bigger? Yeah, I think I do, actually. Then it looks just a little bit more proportional to what I would expect this thing to be. Okay, I want to add some more width to this thing as well. So for the best way to do that, in my humble opinion, is the chassis track width. And just give it a few generous clicks. Yeah, like that. See how much better that is when it's this thing is just gonna be so weird. Do I want to bring it back down? Or do I just move the whole body right down on the Z-axis? Yeah, let's just bring the body down and leave the suspension up there. Probably gonna screw with my ability to do an interior on this thing, but you know what? I don't know if I'm gonna do one anyways. I usually don't, so why would I start now? I don't know. I'm gonna just kind of mess around with some design stuff for a little while and see what I come up with. I will be back in a bit.
20 minutes later.
Alright, so after I don't know quite how long, this is where I'm at. Kind of resigned myself at this point to having to do an interior, despite what I said about wanting to do an interior earlier. And, well, I mean, still trying to figure out what I'm going to do about these front fender areas here. I mean, the back, I got something that worked out pretty well. It needs a little bit of extra work, a little bit of detailing to bring it all together. And wow, does this thing actually look kind of adorable now. Like, I wasn't going to go with the round headlights just because, you know, it's too much of a Jeep ripoff. But I guess I might as well just go full Jeep ripoff at this point, because realistically, what else could this thing actually end up being beyond a Jeep? So, yeah, I found, I have the mod here for a bunch of fun off-roading stuff, and I've just been kind of bolting it to the car. And, yeah, I'm going to get back to it and see where I'm at in the next few minutes.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Alright, there it is. I'm going to just call it good enough. It has all the essentials: chunky spare tire, big wheels, lots of ride height, found some fenders. It's got everything: brake lights, headlights, winches. So, yeah, there it is, the Black Rock Yeetler, because I'm very good with names for cars, apparently. So you know what's next. I'm going to hop over into BeamNG Drive, take it for a spin, see if this thing even works as an off-roader. I have my doubts, because I made it, and I don't make good things. But, yeah, I will see you in Beam in just a few minutes. Alright, and here we are in BeamNG Drive, with a random off-road map that I just grabbed off the repository real quick, just to see if this thing is actually any good. I mean, I have my doubts. Oh boy. Oh no. Yeah, this is not good. It doesn't, it literally doesn't turn. I don't know why it doesn't turn. Oh, really? Come on. Did we break it already? Oh, no, it wants to climb a fucking tree. Okay, well, I suppose that could have gone a whole lot worse than it did. Now, can I get it out of here? I've really got to remap these controls. I keep trying to use Forza's gear changing, and Beam, it changes my camera. Why will you not actually just turn? Oh my god. Well, so far this thing's a steaming pile of garbage. Like, look at this. Can we do something? Okay, fine, we'll go this way. Like, we haven't even... We have just now made it past, I think, the first obstacle. Like, what? I don't understand what's wrong with this thing. Let's just reset. Okay. Back to the beginning. This thing fucking sucks. Oh my god. I mean, I have made some bad vehicles, but I think that this one has to be the worst. Let's go this way then, shall we? See what we have over here. Like, I tested this map to make sure everything was gonna just load in properly with the stock, nothing special D series. And it did so much better than this thing is doing. Oh my god. Anybody driving this thing would not have a spine by the time you were done. Like, you... Ooh. Oh no. What is this? Come on, Yeetler, let's go. Like, just look at the way it bounces. Cars are not supposed to do that. Like, I don't care what you say. A car's not supposed to bounce around like that. Look at it. See, this is why I don't do off-roaders. Like, this is just terrible. I mean, I say that okay, it's not great, but it was just successfully driving in a straight line, so I guess that has to count for something, right? We like cars that can drive in a straight line. And I blew out a tire on I don't even know what. Great. Alright, have I made an off-roader? Yeah. Have I made a good off-roader? No. Will I make an off-roader again? Probably not. As hilarious as this thing is. Like, I think it was just doing a wheelie right there. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it at this. Just let it roll off, and it's gonna sit here, and it's just gonna rot in the trees for all eternity. This thing was a shit show of a vehicle. At least it was fun to design and fun to engineer. But yeah, we're done. That's it. See y'all next time.